A lane change violation leads to a major drug bust. Despite all of the rain, could southern Utah still be in danger of a severe drought? And a volunteer clinic is celebrating 25 years of free care for its patients.
You're watching St. George News at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Amy Bennett. An alleged lane change violation turned into a major drug bust on I-15 after Utah Highway Patrol uncovered 30 pounds of suspected methamphetamine. Initially, the driver was pulled over for leaving the turn signal on and never changing lanes. The trooper asked to see identification, which neither the driver nor the passenger had on them. The vehicle was determined to be a rental car, but the suspects reportedly could not locate the rental car agreement. This raised the officer's suspicion, and during a pat-down of the 52-year-old passenger, Larry Horton, police found a pipe that may have been used to smoke meth. The rest of the vehicle was then searched, and officers say that they found a duffel bag that contained 30 pounds of suspected meth, valued at more than $780,000. The driver, whose name has yet to be released, was taken to the St. George Regional Hospital for a medical condition. Horton was arrested and booked into jail on count of possession with intent to distribute a controlled substance. Horton is also facing a misdemeanor for possession of a controlled substance and paraphernalia charges, and is currently on a no-bail hold while he awaits a hearing. Southern Utah has been getting an abundance of rain and snowfall over the past couple of weeks. However, Washington County Water Manager Zach Renstrom continues to prepare for a massive drought. St. George News reporter Maury Kessler spoke with Renstrom about Washington County's water situation.
Recent storms had across southwest Utah and the rest of the state have turned a questionable start of the year for water into an optimistic one for water managers. St. George News asked Washington County Water Conservancy District General Manager Zach Renstrom about the county's current water status following the storms of the last few weeks.
So, we were sitting at like about 50% snowpack, and as of this morning, we're over 100%. So it's been significant, and these storms have just hit beautifully where they came in and dropped some really good snowfall all over the county, so up above Enterprise all the way to Zion National Park, and so they've been significant, and it's going to help us a lot this summer. Yeah, so I'm doing two things right now. I am planning for a massive drought, and I am planning for a massive flood, because I just don't know what's going to happen. So we prepare for the two extremes, and so when we have these opportunities, we try to take advantage of every drop we can. And so what we would hope is that we continue to have a few really good storms for the rest of the year, and then it just melts off really slowly, and that would be ideal. But unfortunately, we don't always have that, so we have to plan for these extremes.
Thanks, Maury. Downtown Springdale will be receiving some modifications soon that will hopefully become a keystone to the community and a place for pedestrians to admire. Here's Stephanie DeGraw on Springdale's new plans.
Springdale has approved an outdoor downtown plaza. Originally, the site on Zion Park Boulevard was going to be a history center. Later, it was determined the home that was there had devastating termite damage. Rick Wixom, town manager, recently spoke to the town council.
That parcel is still sitting vacant, and as part of our streetscape plan, our consultants developed a pretty remarkable concept for how that property could be turned into a pedestrian plaza that would include some beach seating and shade and restrooms and information about the town.
Thanks, Stephanie. An art gallery in St. George is showing off local artists from now until March 28th. Here's St. George News reporter Jesse Bang with a spotlight on one of the artists and more about the show.
The My Favorite Things Artist Showcase is going on now at Red Cliff Gallery. The show features artists in college all the way up to professional artists with over 40 years of experience. Kimberly Jackson is one of those artists, and not only is her work unique, but her story is too.
The show was first introduced as My Favorite Things. I knew that everybody would have different ideas of what that was, whether it was bicycling or a house or a favorite toy. But for me, I just love the beauty of the world that's around us. And as a legally blind person, to me, it's so striking that I can capture this beautiful moment in life, whether it's a moment driving down a road or a moment walking down a hiking trail, whatever it is, that moment, and to kind of immortalize it in watercolor.
The show runs from now until March 28th. Gallery director Susan Plojak tells us more.
It's a thrill for me to have a wide diversity. We are a teaching gallery, which means that we instruct people how to frame their work and how to hang, how it needs to be have the hardware on the back so that it will hang properly. We pick judges for the show. We give cash prizes and ribbons and certificates for winners.
The show features 198 pieces.
Thanks, Jesse. A volunteer clinic here in St. George is celebrating 25 years of free service for those who are struggling with a health crisis. Here's Stephanie DeGraw on what this clinic is all about.
The Doctors Volunteer Clinic is celebrating their 25th anniversary. They held an open house on Monday. The clinic is a nonprofit, non-governmental group that relies on community donations. The executive director, Deanne Staley, said mental health needs are about 45% of the clinic's total encounters.
What we've been able to do, because we were so worried about this population not being able to get in for their crisis situations, our suicide rate in this community is high, so we were able to have a project called Project Open Door, so that anybody in the community who's having mental health crisis can come in for that day, same day walk-in services. We have psychiatry. All our psychiatrists volunteer their time. We have counselors. So every day we have counseling and medication providers.
At the Doctors Volunteer Clinic, uninsured families can access health care at no cost.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. I'm Amy Bennett with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5.